I wonder if people expected it to be pushed back another hour, like it usually is. I just typically I'll schedule it for 2 p.m. my time, and then something always comes up and I gotta push it back an hour. And then usually something else comes up and I gotta push it back another hour. This time it was just the once. So, holy shit, there was a lot that actually came across my For You page this week. Uh, let's see, what do I want to start off with? Could start off with talking about Twitch. Why not? Oh, it's 11 p.m. for you? Headed to bed? Well, have a good sleep. I will be having probably a good stream. Takes a while for people to really start trickling in. I'm just debating what do I want to actually start with. I think the Hazbin is probably going to be the biggest eyes on it. Set that to, oh, right, I can group shit. Name this group clones. Oh my god, I really should have been doing this to start. Has been. What's a stream without scuff? Those are all individual, individual. Okay, perfect. That's all set up. The Vtuber clones discourse. Oh, what the fuck happened to my screen? It went black. Cool. Clones discourse is going to take me a while to get through. You know what? I'm just going to start with the Twitch segment. Hey, Sushi. There's a third cat in the house, so Sushi and Gotham are a little getting used to them. Sushi is a little harder to get along with than Gotham. I think they'll warm up nicely to each other. Okay, let's start off with talking about Twitch. Growth. I pushed the button. Oh, now it's recording. Good. So there's quite a bit of discourse on what's the best way to grow on Twitch. And honestly, there is no one correct way. There are some ways that can be, I don't want to say exploited, but it's kind of like that. Basically, in my opinion, the way to grow on Twitch as a YouTuber, fuck, in my YouTuber point of view, why not? I'm not even on Twitch. Anyways, one big thing for me that really helped get a bunch of eyes on my Twitch streams, hey Raj, was playing games that had a bit of a cult following, but weren't necessarily mainstream. And then I would just what's it? And then I would tend to play those games when the bigger streamers weren't doing that. it was actually really easy for me to hit an average of 14, 15 viewers for streaming Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, because I happened to just be streaming at the time the bigger streamers weren't around. There weren't too many streamers typically, and I had maybe 3 to 4 people who would just watch me dedicatedly. So just having that would put me at the top of the category for Twitch for Dragon Ball. And that would just lead to more and more people checking me out. That was how I tried to do stuff on Twitch, but eventually I just gravitated away from gaming content. I've long since moved on to commentary content. But in the words of, or in the claim of the Twitch CEO, Dan Clancy, the best way to grow on Twitch is collaboration with other streamers. I, of course, am reading a Dexerto tweet, as I do. Pretty much, I'm not going to go into their full article regarding it, but there was an interview with YouTuber Karat where Dan had talked about this. And personally, I think, yeah, you can definitely get a lot new eyes on you during collaboration with other streamers, but it's kind of sucky to me that that's the main way that the CEO sees as growing on Twitch. There's no real algorithm to help boost up people, or there's not really any way to help these smaller channels that tend to go to the bottom of the categories when people are streaming. Of course, there's ways to, I don't know, sort from lowest views to highest, but then that also kind of creates a problem with like bigger categories of, say, just chatting, where people that fall in the mid-range tend to get overlooked way more than the smallest people and the biggest people, ironically, in that instance. But pretty much for collaborations, there's a symbiotic growth to them, so to speak, that you will get more eyes on you, and you will get more eyes on the other person as well. And communities can start to intermix a little bit. There becomes more crossover between your viewers for both of them, or for both of you, or however many are involved. Not every streamer is going to appeal to every single viewer. That's pretty common knowledge, as far as I'm aware anyways. But largely, yeah, I definitely see how it increases, or how it helps growth on Twitch. And sadly, people don't go to Twitch for VODs, they go there for when you're live. So you just kind of have to be constantly going in order to maximize the number of eyes on you. And if you can't stream as frequently, how else can you maximize the number of eyes on you? By streaming with other creators at the same time. By collaborating. That is one way to get more people to hear your name, maybe check out your content. Who knows? There is also definitely a risk of exploitation in there, I would say, where there are plenty of people that just kind of don't really care that much about having a good time, so to speak. They're more interested in just getting the eyes on them. And then there's also people that kind of get, what's the term? Stage fright, so to speak, of having all these virtual eyes on you, which are still real people. that can lead to people being nervous, stuttering, that kind of thing. But I mean, it is pretty commonplace for streamers, I think. I don't know. I'm kind of running out of my rant here for Twitch collaborations. I definitely think they can help. I'm not entirely sure if it's the best way, but I mean, it kind of seems to be trending that way. Because there's no actual backing from Twitch themselves to help boost up the smaller creators. They're kind of, you know, expecting creators to help lift up the creators on their platform. Yeah, I I'm no business student, I'm no business major, I'm no business person. But that doesn't seem to me like it's very long lasting for a platform that's not profitable. So, fuck, I forget where that article was. I can probably find it real quick. Twitch not profitable. Yeah, oh right, it was over the news of Twitch laying off like 500 employees. Sadly, I use Bing because I tried using a different search engine, setting my default, and then Edge said, no, you're using Bing. So I use Bing. I don't feel like fighting it anymore. But anyways, there's actually a lot of news about Twitch not being non-profitable and how they laid off a bunch of people to try and get back into that profitability margin. Who actually uses Edge? Sadly, I do. I think that's a pretty funny way to end that segment. Oh, what do I want to get into next? The VTuber groups is not really going to be a big segment, I don't think. I mean, I don't have a whole lot prepared for that segment. Ooh. VTuber's lagging a little. God damn. Sadly, I can't keep up the hand tracking then. Bummer. Okay. Hmm. I've talked about AI art more than once on this channel. If you've watched the videos, you know I'm not the biggest fan of it. And I've always been wondering what are ways that we can actually combat the use of non-ethical AI, the kinds of AI that just takes an artist's piece of work, puts it into their systems or whatever, and then puts out something different by combining a ton of different artists. And I was actually just I was just made aware yesterday of an article by Vtuber about a new tool that helps artists protect themselves against the use of the non-ethical AI or the non-ethical generative AI art. Is it Glaze? It is actually called Nightshade. God, I miss my ad blocker. I should get a new one. Go away. Nightshade, VentureBeat put out this article written by Carl Franzen. Nightshade, the free tool that poisons AI models, is now available for artists to use. So, this is... Oh yeah, okay. The Glaze project at the university. Okay, so you're right. But this is kind of important to me personally because I do make a form of art. I make a digital or virtual photography of not safe for work stuff. I do it because it's fun, but I don't want the stuff that I make and put onto Twitter or Rule 34 to be thrown into like some kind of AI like Mid-Journey or what are the other ones? Doll. I don't quite remember. But anyways, the article goes on, or the article starts off with, it's here. Months after it was first announced, Nightshade, a new free software tool allowing artists to poison AI models seeking to train on their works, is now available for artists to download and use on any network they see fit, or on any artworks they see fit. So this is pretty poggers to me, unironically. Oh, that doesn't even... Okay, it's muted at least. Developed by the computer scientists on the Glaze project at the University of Chicago under Professor Ben Zhao, the tool essentially works by turning AI against AI. It makes use of the popular open source machine learning frame network PyTorch to identify what's in a given image, then applies a tag that subtly alters the image at the pixel level so other AI programs see something totally different than what's actually there. Oh, nice. Fair enough. Thanks for popping by. Hope you have a good day. Tweet from Glaze at U Chicago. So it edits the tags or edits the image. It applies a tag, so I'm guessing it edits the metadata that alters the image at pixel level. I'm not 100% sure how it works. I'm not some techie. I know a little bit about technology, but nowhere near as much as these dudes. Today's the day. Tweeted January 18th, 6:30. Today's the day. Nightshade version 1.0 is ready. What? Don't click on it. Performance tuning is done. UI fix is done. You can download Nightshade from there. So I am definitely going to get my hands on that. Please read what Please read the What Is page and also the user's guide on how to run Nightshade. It's a bit more involved than Glaze. Okay, so Glaze was a previous tool? It's a second such tool from the team. Nearly 1 year ago, the team unveiled Glaze, a separate program designed to alter digital artwork at a user's behest to confuse AI training algorithms into thinking the image has a different style than what is actually presented, such as different colors and brushstrokes than are really there. Oh, interesting. So it's just going to be messing everything up. They're never going to be getting it right with that. You used Glaze before. It'd been nice if they had something you could use through a website instead of downloading it. It crashed your computer pretty bad when you try to run it locally. Oh, that sucks. Well, I'm definitely going to be giving this a try, and then, well, hopefully it works out. But whereas the Chicago team designed Glaze to be a defensive tool and still recommends artists use it in addition to Nightshade to prevent an artist's style from being imitated by AI models, Nightshade is designed to be an offensive tool. Yeah, so I don't think it's a solution for lower tech people, but it's definitely better than nothing. Yeah, it's at least some kind of protections. An AI model that ended up training on many images altered or shaded with Nightshade would likely erroneously categorize objects going forward for all the users of that model, even in images that had not been shaded with Nightshade. Okay, yeah, so this will poison the entire model that something gets put into. So, like, let's just say Midjourney takes a image that's been hit by Nightshade. That might ruin them. Hopefully. Only use pieces that you've been given the fucking consent for. The article continues, for example, quoting, for example, human eyes might see a shaded image of a cow in a green field, largely unchanged, but an AI model might see a large leather purse lying in the grass. End quote, the team further explains. Therefore, an AI model trained on images of a cow shaded to look like a purse would start to generate purses instead of cows, even when the user asked for the model to make a picture of a cow. That's fucking funny. They're trying to make cow pictures and they get purses. The requirements on and how Nightshade works. Artists seeking to use Nightshade must have a Mac with Apple chips inside. Bummer. Oh, okay. Or a PC running Windows 10 or 11. The tool can be downloaded for both operating systems here. The Windows file is also capable of running on a PC's GPU, provided it is one from NVIDIA on the list of supported hardware. I should double check that. I'm pretty sure mine is. I gotta... Wait, no, is it NVIDIA? I got GeForce GTX. I don't know. Stuff to look into. Some users have also reported long download times due to the overwhelming demand for the tool. Also, as long as 8 hours in some cases. The two versions are 255 megabytes and 2.6 gigs in size for the Mac and PC respectively. Jesus. 2.6. That's a huge discrepancy between the two. Like a huge, or not discrepancy, a difference. Ooh, there's somebody tweeting out how their download speed is capped at 150 kilobytes. 8 hours. Okay. Users must also agree to the Glaze/Nightshade's team and user license agreement. which stipulates that they use the tool on machines under their control and don't modify the underlying source code, nor reproduce, copy, distribute, resell, or otherwise use the software for any commercial purpose. Yeah, I think I would definitely be fine with using it because I'm not selling the use of the product or this program. I would just be using that to protect the art I already make, separate from it. Nightshade version 1, quote, transforms images into poison samples so that AI models training on them without consent will see their models learn unpredictable behaviors that deviate from expected norms. Example, a prompt that asks for an image of a cow flying in space might instead get an image of a handbag floating in space. End quote. States a blog post from the development team on its website. That is, by using Nightshade version 1 to quote shade an image, the image will be transformed into a new version thanks to the open source AI libraries, ideally subtly enough so that it doesn't look much different to the human eye, but that it appears to contain totally different subjects to any AI models training on it. When you said the waiting room's open, I thought that meant it was going to be going live the next day. Oh no, my bad. I should have made the Discord message. Stream is live. Waiting room open. It's kind of weird they don't let people modify source code, isn't it? If people could modify it, they could improve it. Unless they're trying to keep AI tech bros from reverse engineering it. I think it leans towards that one. But I mean, I don't know. It doesn't seem like it was released as an open source program. It's just, here's what we made. But it does make use of open source AI libraries. In addition, the tool is resilient to most of the typical transformations and alterations a user or viewer might make to an image. As the team explains, quote, you can crop it, resample it, compress it, smooth out pixels, or add noise and the effects of the poison will remain. You can take screenshots or even photos of an image displayed on a monitor and the shade effects remain. Holy shit, really? That's actually impressive. Taking photos of a monitor of a poisoned image and then putting that into an AI will still poison the model? That's awesome. Again, this is because it's not a watermark or hidden message. Steganography. Nailed it. And it is not brittle. End quote. Oh my god, this is so fucking based. Applause and condemnation. While some artists have rushed to download Nightshade version 1 and are already making use of it, among them, Kelly McKernan, one of the former lead artists, plaintiffs in the ongoing class action copyright infringement lawsuit against AI art and video generator companies Midjourney, DeviantArt, Runway, and Stability AI. Okay, that lawsuit's going deeper than I thought. I had talked about it a little bit in my last AI art segment when I went over Midjourney stuff. But yay, copyright lawsuits. Some web users have complained about it, suggesting it is a tantamount to a cyber attack on AI models and companies. No, I fully disagree with that. It's not an attack, so to speak. It's protecting people from copyright abuse. VentureBeat uses Midjourney and other AI generate. VentureBeat. At least you say you use it, but I'm not reading another VentureBeat article. I can't show that on stream. The the Glaze/Nightshade team, for its part, denies it is seeking destructive ends, writing, quote, Nightshade's goal is not to break models, but to increase the cost of training on unlicensed data, such as licensing images from their creators becomes a viable alternative. Wait, they're mad that it's going to increase the cost of training unlicensed data? Yeah, because, like, license it. It's fucking art. People put effort into it. In other words, the creators are seeking to make it so that AI model developers must pay artists to train on data from them that is uncorrupted. Oh, that's pretty funny. I would unironically call artists that do that gigachads. Like, oh yeah, you can train off of my art, but you have to pay me. And if they ignore the but you have to pay me, they're going to get poisoned art that's just put out publicly. Beware AI illustrators. The only reason the original dataset was allowed to get away with it, with what it did, was because the OG dataset was made by a nonprofit. Wait, what? I am a little bit confused. I think ChatGPT was open source and nonprofit, like via tax and copyright laws. I think largely it had to do with it is a very new technology and our laws don't quite deal with them. Saw a video talking about it a while back. I forget who made it, but I could look for it. I would like to check that out off stream. Because, like, I do like doing React content. I'm a very lazy person, but I'm kind of wanting to move away from just, you know, watching videos I agree with and trying to push commentary into it. Sushi. Okay, moving on. The latest front in the fast-moving fight over data scraping. How did we get here? It all comes down to AI image generators have been, or how AI image generators have been trained. By scraping data from across the web, including scraping original artworks posted by artists who had no prior expressed knowledge nor decision-making power about this practice, and say the resulting AI models trained on their works threatens their livelihood by competing with them. Yeah, there are a lot of people that will literally just sell you AI generated art from, like, shit. What was that one that wasn't Midjourney? I've heard of multiple. I forget them all. Doll-E? No, it was something else. I'd have to really take time to look in and find that specific example I'm thinking of. I actually haven't heard of that one. Is my phone being shit, or is that an I or an L? I need glasses. AI art basically looks the same anyways. Yeah, true. Look for the knuckle, or count the knuckles, count the fingers. Unironically, is it I or an L? Because I'm watching chat through my phone, which is a fair bit away, so chat's pretty small. Wait, can I make chat bigger? No. Thank you, YouTube. Thank you so much. But yeah, there... It is an I. Okay, so it is Cryon. But yeah, there are plenty of people that will just take these generated images as the final product and sell them to people, when it's literally made of art made by actual artists who haven't been even credited for the you can't see the air quotes, inspiration. I miss my hand tracking. As VentureBeat has reported, data scraping involves letting simple programs called bots scour the internet and copy and transform data from public-facing websites, in basically like Twitter, Google, Bing, whatever you use, into other formats that are helpful for the person or entity doing the scraping. It has been common practice on the internet and used frequently prior to the advent of generative AI, and is roughly the same technology used by Google and Bing to crawl and index websites in search results. Hey, called it. I pre-read, didn't I? But it has come under new scrutiny from artists, authors, and creatives who object to their work being used without their express permission to train commercial AI models that may compete with or replace their work product, which we do see more than once. There have been a fair number of companies that have been like, yeah, we don't need an art team. We have Midjourney and Steve. AI model makers defend the practice as not only necessary to train their creations, but as lawful under quote, fair use. That's not fair use, you motherfuckers. The legal doctrine of the US states that prior work may be used in new work if it is transformed or used for a new purpose. The purpose of AI art is it looks neat, and we don't have to pay an actual artist to make this. That is the purpose. Yeah, and typically, if you're going to transform something, you actually tell people, or you should tell people where you're getting this stuff from. There is a lot. Hey, Joestar. We're talking about Nightshade, AI art poison. Although AI companies such as OpenAI have introduced opt-out code, I don't like that. It should be opt-in code that objectors can add to their websites to avoid being scraped for AI training. The Glaze/Nightshade team notes that, quote, opt-out lists have been disregarded by model trainers in the past and can be easily ignored with zero consequences. They are unverifiable and unenforceable, and those who violate opt-out lists and do not scrape directives cannot be identified with high confidence. Nightshade, then, was conceived and designed as a tool to, quote, address this power asymmetry, end quote. The team explains their end goal. Quote, used responsibly, Nightshade can help deter model trainers who disregard copyrights, opt-out lists, and do not scrape/robots.txt directives. It does not rely on the kindness of model trainers, but instead associates a small incremental price on each piece of data scraped and trained without authorization. Give me an opt-out code that'll delete the scraped art from your data set, and then we'll toggle them out. Yeah, that's why I think it should be an opt-in thing. That way you're getting people's actual consent rather than, oh, you didn't know I did this, so I can get away with it. I've met a fair amount of artists, and I haven't really seen any of them, maybe a couple, that even remotely like AI art. Largely, general consensus of the people that I've talked to have been don't use AI art, but it's not that big of a deal if you're, instead of giving like 100 pieces of reference, you AI art it into like 3 or 4 to get the general idea, and then you have that as reference to give to the artist saying, hey, this is the kind of thing I want, but I want it actually done by a human. So there's ways it can be done, but largely I think it's a practice that should just be avoided. There are also programs online that you can use, like there's Picrew, there's other whatnot that can you can make whatever kind of picture you want of people, albeit it's extremely limited, but it gets the general idea across. So it's just going to crush smaller artists? No, this is actually a thing that will help artists protect themselves from the use of scrapers using their art in AI or in generative AI art. I feel like an AI art company could get a huge amount of good press if they literally just said, yeah, hey, we ask for permission first, want to add to our data set. Yeah, have you heard of SAG-AFTRA? Because they tried that and they got a ton of backlash online because they were just willing to use AI art for, or not AI art specifically. They had put out a statement about letting replica studios use their talents' voices for their stuff, and like a ton of the voice actors were like, what the hell, we didn't agree to this. And then the day after, SAG-AFTRA put out a statement of like, hey, we want to promote the No AI Frauds Act. And it's like real not a good look for them. Because like, yes, I agree with the No AI Frauds Act, but you literally just the day before, whoopsie, literally just the day before talked about that. Oh, you did? I'm gonna be honest, I do miss a fair number of comments, but I do, when I get like lesser comments on videos, I do tend to read them, and I like it when people put long thoughts into their comments. I like knowing that my viewers think. I just read that. Okay, we're basically done this article. Basically, make widespread data scraping more costly to AI model makers and make them think twice about what they're doing, and thereby having them consider pursuing licensing agreements with human artists as a more viable alternative. Of course, Nightshade is not able to reverse the flow of time. Any artwork scraped prior to being shaded by the tool were still used to train AI models, and shading them now may impact the model's efficacy going forward, but only if those images are re-scraped and used again to train an updated version of an AI image generator model. There is also nothing on a technical level stopping someone from using Nightshade to shade AI-generated artwork or artwork they did not create, opening the door to potential abuses. The way I could see abuses being done with Nightshade would be somebody saying, hey, they like being hey, you want to use my AI or my art for your algorithm? Pay me and I'll give you the non-poisoned versions. And then they pay you and then you give them a poisoned version. That's really the only way I can think of abusing this sort of system. Personally, I think generative AI should just fuck off. We have better uses for AI research, but like, the stream stuck buffering for anyone else? Oh man, what? On my or my end, it seems to be all right. At the very least, the videos will be good, I hope. But yeah, in the end, I think Nightshade's pretty goddamn good tool to help artists protect their art. Unlike the Warhammer chuds who get mad when you say normal things like Warhammer is a critique of fascism. Funny story. You should check or you should see my video that came out Friday. People got mad. People got real mad about that. Why? Yeah, I gotta talk about Warhammer more often. It gets a lot of hate clicks, which really pushes out my video. Oh yeah, that that one blocks a lot of my comment notifications. Because like in the YouTube Studio app, it only shows the three most recent comments. So usually when I'm putting out videos, I can keep up with the comments coming out. But then when I put out, like, in this case, a Warhammer video, that got a lot of comments, so I missed a lot. Man, I hate advertisements. Let's see, let's see. What do I talk about next? Hey, oh hero. You remember getting a goddamn ad in one of your dreams? Was it buffering? Okay, I think I want to talk about the VTuber groups. Thinking about it, I could have actually incorporated this into the Twitch segment. Oh well. I guess it applies more to VTubers specifically. What's happened now? I mean, there's always stuff happening. Right now, I'm just thinking about a tweet that I saw that I'm gonna be commentating on for like 5-10 minutes. or an hour. I don't know. Probably like 5-10 minute range. Swear to God, the advertisers have psychic shit going on, pushing ads at the worst times. Yeah, that Futurama skit's coming true when Fry's asleep and literally has that dream. Yeah, 3 hours. I pull up a tweet and then I talk for 3 hours about it. Futurama reel. I really enjoyed it, but there were parts that just did not age well. Oh, unironically, yeah, like the 90s ads, the commercials we got back then, though that was some top tier shit. And I'm only saying that because of nostalgia goggles. And now it's buffering for you. Damn it. I don't even know what I can do on my end. It doesn't look like it's an issue on my end, because my stream's sitting around 6,000 kilobytes per second for bitrate. Looks like it hasn't dropped any frames yet. So maybe. It might also be if you have ad blocker, like the OG ad blocker. They were being problematic, and that turns out it wasn't YouTube's fault with that one. Wild, I know. You're on mobile and it's fine? Yeah, cuz like I'm watching it on mobile myself to keep an eye on chat, and the playback is it? Then whose fault was it? It was ad blockers, I think. Let me double check. I'm pretty sure Some Ordinary Gamers put out a video on it. Oh, he's talking about Pal World with the latest video. Yeah, a couple days ago, he put out video. It wasn't YouTube's fault, it was Adblock's fault. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm probably going to. I did personally notice that YouTube was being a dick towards me. Like, it was taking forever to pull up live streams. It was constantly buffering. It would take half a minute sometimes to pull up like any video. But then I removed my ad block, and well, now it's working fine. But I get super ads across the internet. Just gonna head out. Alrighty. Yeah, I've heard some things about Pal World. I kind of want to look into it because I know, or I've heard they've been using like AI and stuff, but I want to know what specific AI they're actually using. That, and I haven't really looked at it at all personally. I did come across an article. Maybe I'll talk about it. Maybe I'll hold off. I mean, it's pretty topical. Oh, I didn't bookmark it. Poggers. Um, I did come across an article titled "Pal World Embroiled in AI and Pokemon Plagiarism Controversy." So it, from what I skimmed over it. It's a lot of tweet collections of showcasing, hey, this is how they're tied to it. I mean, I also did like a half-hour segment already on AI art. Okay, should I talk about... Yeah, you're waiting for more information? Yeah, that's kind of what I'm sitting at too. Okay, I think I'm going to move on to talking about that VTuber group stuff. It's definitely more of a niche topic, so to speak. Where's my drink? Is it Niji Sanji? I'm not talking about any specific VTuber agency. It's not like I currently am not really following a lot of the agency stuff, but I'm wanting to more broadly talk about aspiring VTubers and all that. There are a lot of VTubers out there. Last I heard, it was around 160,000 VTubers out there, and that was a while ago. I don't know how I could possibly get the census on that, but the majority of VTubers out there are pretty small, just like flesh tubers, the other kinds of streamers. The majority of people are not the ones at the top as things go, it seems. There's a lot of people that, I mean, I've covered an agency or two that have really exploited people who have wanted to grow, who have thought they've finally found their shot at the big time, and then they just turned out to, I don't know, exploit them. They didn't pay them on time. They had their livers, the streamers behind the VTubers, doing managerial work sometimes. They were doing a lot more than just streaming. And I mean, it might be in the job in the job description. We don't know. Most of the time they're not made public. And I think there's a lot of people, they kind of seem like the modern equivalent of MCNs. Yeah, I can see that. But there's a lot of people that see, oh, there's a big group of people in this agency and they're growing together, and you don't need an agency to do that. What really got this topic on my mind was a thread by Echo Gummy, a gummy worm VTuber, it seems. Or a brainworm, I'm not sure. Cute Oshi mark. Reminder, you can make a cute V group with your friends whenever you want, for free. You can just make a group for free and have a cute casual group with your friends. Stop getting tricked into signing all these pop-up group contracts. OMG, please? So, yeah, there's been more than one group out there. There's been some smaller startup agencies that are really looking to take advantage of people, offering them promise of, hey, this is a group you can join and you can become friends with everybody. And largely, that's not actually how it works if the people involved aren't necessarily sociable. They are wanting to find friends, they are wanting to establish themselves in this industry of entertainment. And it's a very, very hard balancing act. And fun fact, I actually used to be in a VTuber group. I actually was one of the founding members of that group. What happened with at the time it was called Kinky Pride. They've rebranded since, and I've got nothing bad to say about them. It's just that it started off with a handful of friends, like just a few people, and then more and more as people would hear about it, more people would want to join. And usually we would be like, oh, you're a friend of this already member, let's invite you, why not? Personally, what I had wanted to do with the group, but I wasn't the sole leader of the group with final say over anything, but what I wanted to do was we would host audition streams, so to speak, where we would find people, hey, we want to join the group. Cool, let's do a stream together, see how we click. And if things go well, then you can join the group. Unfortunately, the other people, or one of the other people, one of the other heads of the group had the idea of, or had the mindset of, they want in. If this person can, or if another member can vouch for them, they're in, cool. And it led to the point where this group ended up having, I think, over 30 members, which is pretty wild for a group that at the time, by time I left, I think we did 2 or 3 streams, like as a group. It just got harder and harder to coordinate, ironically, with more people, and a lot more people that just didn't know each other. It was really hard to coordinate. What game do we play together? What subjects do we talk about on stream? Though this was largely before I did do my commentary content on the regular, so I think I could potentially host a panel again. I don't know how I feel about groups personally. I'm pretty happy with how things have been going for me. But I definitely understand the appeal for groups. It's nice to have people that you can potentially regularly be like, hey, I'm going to be playing blank on stream, you want to join? Hell yeah. You don't necessarily need a VTuber group to do that. You don't need an agency to do that. You just need to be able to network with people and be personable. There was something else I was going to say. Fuck. What was I going to say? Chat, you're psychic. Remind me. Wow, like train left station immediately. Real bad. But yeah, there are. Or on it. Oh, yeah, that's what I. Okay, finally. I was going to say, cats. True. But that didn't necessarily remind me that I forgot it again. Fuck me. God damn it! Yeah, F in chat. Thank you. I'm like so brain fritzing right now. Free, just cute casual group of friends. It was something about growth. I can't remember. If you want to make a VTuber group with your friends, do that. It can be fun. Not that bad. Yeah, that's the video. Train wreck every time we tried to plan with drama. Yeah. Yeah. With that group there was it like up to 30 people? I can't remember. I don't know if they're still going or not. I do hope they are. But I just really got to the point where I felt like I kind of felt outside of the group, so to speak. Where yes, I was a founding member, but I couldn't get oh, that's unfortunate. But I just couldn't get I couldn't get people to show up. If it was like a group of 5 of us and maybe 1 or 2 joined at the time, not a big yeah, that's fine. That would be a group collab for the V group. But when it was like damn near 30 people and I sometimes could only get 1, it was frustrating. I do think largely with that group it was a lot of good people. I do think there were some people that I don't know if they did get in, I don't recall, but with a group like that where you announce the debut and people start hearing about it and it gets spread around, there are going to be people that also want to get their foot in the door with this rising star group. You never know. I don't know. I just think groups should be with people you actually know and you actually somewhat frequently communicate with. It helps. It helps. Oh, 10-minute segment. Probably like 3 minutes of trying to remember what I was going to say. Uh yeah, that's not really that big of a topic. Good Segi nonetheless. True. True. I'm going to run to the bathroom real quick. Boopidoo, I am back. Felt clicky when we were exclusive and only invite a few people. Well, I mean, yeah. It's a VTuber group. It's not meant to be like everybody. my opinion anyways. Did I cover the Hazbin Hotel AMV yet? No, not yet. Before I get to the Hazbin Hotel and the Vtuber clones, I got a different thing I want to go over. I'm actually going to go over a video. Yeah, with that idea, I was thinking that would be the best way for it to organically grow without having people feel intimidated, so to speak. Where, like, yes, I get that it is being nice and friendly when you invite basically anybody that says, hey, I want to be a part of this. But the bottom line is, we're entertainers. We gotta be entertaining. And it's really hard to be entertaining when you don't really know the people you're collaborating with. There are definitely some people who have a natural skill to it, if you will. Excuse me. Okay, who wants to talk about cancel culture? Who doesn't love hearing about that topic? I got made aware, I guess, of a channel called the Archcast or Archcast, whatever, I don't care. And I don't really know much about this dude, but I know there is a video he put out titled Right-Wing Cancel Culture Good. And I, being someone on the left side of the politics dynamic, will probably have some things to say. So, without too much of a preamble, I mean, I guess I'll lay out that I don't really know how I particularly feel about quote unquote cancel culture. I will say that getting canceled is not necessarily just being called out for bigoted behavior. I think, does the video title mean canceling right-wing people is good, or it's good when right-wing people do it? Weird title. Well, when I scroll down and check the description, it has chapters, and one of them is the crusade against gay, and another one is free speech absolutism. So, as a gay free speech person, I'm probably going to have some things to say. But largely, when I refer to canceling people, I use it in a term or in a context where somebody has built up a public image of themselves and then reveal later to be not that public image. Therefore, their community that they've built up will distance themselves from the person that created that community. Like when I covered that VTuber who was called out for transphobia. The dude promoted himself as a ally to queer people in general, and one of us as well, I think he was Pan, I can't remember. Yeah, so like that's how I personally use canceling, but there's a lot of people that will just use it for the hate mob kind of stuff. And I really get the vibe from this guy that that's the kind of defense we're going to be hearing about cancel culture. Plus, I don't hear a lot of people on the left unironically talk about it, calling it cancel culture. I wouldn't be surprised if it does happen out there, but I just don't see it a lot. Most of the time when I hear people complaining about cancel culture, they're on the right. Anyways, it's time for a video.
Provocative title, you say? Why, yes, that is exactly what I was going for. As slightly hyperbolic...
So, respect where it's due. I do this too. I make hyperbolic titles and thumbnails in order to get angry clicks from people I don't like. Mostly right-wingers. I like pissing them off because it really pushes my videos to the algorithm.
Though it may be, there is a valuable argument and point to be made here, as quite a bit of mainstream media alleges that Claudine Gay being dethroned from the position of president at Harvard is an example of right-wing cancel culture. And yes it is. The progressives have taught us very well, and now it is time for you to be afraid. Because right-wing cancel culture is a good thing. It is...
So, does anybody have the context for the Claudine Gay thing? I don't know who that is.
As the progressives might call it, oh, what was that endearing term again? Ah, yes, consequence culture. But beyond the...
Okay, so I do hope you're going to elaborate about what consequence or what action caused the consequences for Claudine here. Please explain.
The mocking schadenfreude, there is a point here to be made. See, back in the day, I've been around long enough to remember this, one of the leading arguments from, well, my side of the internet was, do not use these destructive tactics. Do not use these inherently bad tactics, regardless of the target, because if you do, there will come a day when they are used against you. And the left?
Yeah. Hold people accountable. If they're going to do something that is contrary to the position or to the public image that they hold themselves up to, call them out on that. Or if they're doing something, or if they're deliberately lying about stuff, call them out on that. If they're exhibiting abusive behaviors, call them out on that. This applies to me too. I'm not above it. Hashtag me too.
Laughed. No. This will never happen. We are correct. We are on the right side of history.
We are correct. We are on the correct side of history. Time has shown it over and over.
People will understand our terror tactics. Our French Revolution will be lauded by the masses, and there is no point at which we ourselves will find our necks in little, wooden blocks staring down into a paper basket.
For me, it was about a month, 2 months ago.
Well,
last time anyways.
Turns out that the day of the basket has indeed arrived, and the cancellation of Claudine Gay is particularly important because the modern-day progressive movement emerged largely from academia, and the fact that this has now reached so deep back into academia as to dethrone a sitting president of Harvard is extraordinarily indicative of just how weak the progressive position has become.
Holy fuck, this dude's playing it up. Wait, I think I do kind of remember the Claudine Gay thing. Wasn't that like an accusation of plagiarism or something? He reminds you of Spiffing Brit, except Spiffing Brit is cool. I'm pretty sure I've heard of Spiffing Brit. But yeah, this is one of the kinds of people that'll play off of I'm gonna go with Westerners' perception of British people, where a lot of our influence, excuse me, has come from. You know, I'm just going to name him directly, David Attenborough, where a lot of people have watched the documentaries he's narrated, and they just kind of associate knowledge bearer with that accent, and then people like this or Sargon of Akkad play off of that and then push really, 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 really dumb shit.
As Claudine Gay, make no mistake, was hired primarily due to her shade rather than her numerous academic achievements.
Citation needed.
Well, that and her blatant refusal to say that, yes, you should indeed not allow people to call for the genocide of Jews on Harvard campuses.
What? Oh, is this about Israel-Palestine? I don't know. Free Palestine.
Oh, the left is taking up the position of free speech absolutism now, is it?
What did he even just say? Something about the Holocaust. You know what? Play that back. Give him another 10 seconds.
Academic achievements. Well, that and her blatant refusal to say that, yes, you should indeed not allow people to call for the genocide of Jews on Harvard campuses.
When did this come out? Oh, like a couple weeks ago. So yeah, this is probably I'm willing to bet something like there were pro-Palestinian protests on Harvard campuses, and he's using the argument that if you're pro-Palestinian, therefore you are anti-Israel, therefore you are anti-Jewish, which personally I think is an anti-Semitic mindset.
Oh, the left is taking up the position of free speech absolutism now, is it?
Yeah, you're free to say whatever the fuck you want. Not free of consequences.
Oh, do not even try that. Oh, God, help me. Oh, heavens help me indeed. Ooh, and I do love, by the way, that we are now calling this the culture war. Mainstream and progressives media have come to calling it the culture war now. Why? Because
it's been called the culture, or the culture war has been invoked and talked about regularly for decades now, as far as I'm aware. And guess what? All the culture war shit actually tends to come from the right.
Back in the day, it wasn't a culture war. It was, as mentioned, consequence culture. It was merely an execution. But now that the opposition have taken to firing back, well, now it's a conflict. How dare they? How dare they indeed. As I want to read out a couple of paragraphs of this article in particular here. The larger lessons of Gay's departure, though, should give pause to anyone who still harbors fond reveries that intellectual inquiry should not follow basic dictates of party agitprop. See, it's always been that. Or at the very least, in modern history it has. Again, the left wing of the day came from academia. Your party agitprop was the very core fundamental foundation of modern day academia. You're only annoyed now because it's the other side's.
This guy is so mad that... Okay, so I did mistake the crusade against gay for being homophobic. I didn't know it was a person named Gay, but this guy is so mad that turns out science agrees with people on the left. Not really the people on the right. You know, the people that say, like, there are two genders or there are two sexes, whatever. They conflate them both all the time. Yeah, they might have heard of basic biology, but they didn't stick around for advanced biology, where we go into the bimodal distribution of chromosomal and hormonal abnormalities that actually vary the human body. It's a lot more than two.
agitprop that it's reaching back into academia and saying, no, stop indoctrinating kids, you goddamn crazy communist bastards. For all the right-wing agita over Scotland.
So, like, don't do the patriotic education that Trump was pushing? I'll agree with that one, but I'm pretty sure that's not what you were actually arguing for. This dude seems to want no progressive thought pushed to kids at all, when really kids should just be kids. Let them be free to figure out themselves.
Quality standards and the neglected mandate of viewpoint diversity. The
Linguistic? I am not sure who that is. Huh. I do like watching video essays and like commentary content, so maybe I have seen it and just don't remember, but I don't know. Like that gender isn't even a biological thing, it's semantic or something, I forget. With gender, it's like socially prescribed. Basically, it's the roles associated with sexual characteristics, like how men are expected to be strong because they have more testosterone, bigger muscles kind of thing. Women are expected to be the caretakers because they birth the kids. That kind of thinking. When sex is your physical biological makeup, it actually varies quite a bit. Typically, when people are saying man and woman, they're actually referring to the gender categories and not the sexual categories. That's why we have male, female, man, woman.
The crusade against gay, like the one preceding it at Pennon, was a raw ideological putsch. Well, in parts, yes. Now, a large part as well was the fact that Gay was a particularly easy target, as again, her intellectual and academic background was lacking at best, certainly for somebody being in the position of president of Harvard. Her
citation needed? Or are you just going to keep saying stuff? I mean, I guess I just say stuff too on YouTube.
Ability to answer even the most simplistic of moral questions also further hampered her. Manhattan Institute fellow Christopher Rufo, who first publicized the gay plagiarism charges, laid out the whole MO from the upset in 2 weeks ago.
Okay, so there was a plagiarism charge. And obviously this guy's not going to go through the entire article.
We launched the Claudine Gay plagiarism story from the right. The next step is to smuggle it into media apparatus of the left, legitimizing the narrative to center-left actors who have the power to topple her, then squeeze. Correct.
So he literally just admitted this is from the right. Or I mean, that is what the video is about. And how they had to frame it in a way for it to be digestible to left-wing audiences so that the people who actually care about things like plagiarism would actually take notice of it. Because let's face it, people on the right tend to not give a shit about like plagiarism or taking advantage of people, but they love to call out when the left does it.
And the beauty of this is, I'll show you back to the previous point. Do not use these weapons, for they will be turned upon you. How did they do this? They, in their own words apparently, smuggled it into the media apparatus of the left. You know, the whole enormous grinding machine you've constructed to destroy people, to crush.
That's an interesting way to say push for civil rights.
Them, to remove them from the internet, to remove them from modern day living, to get them removed from social media platforms.
But why? You're going into all this stuff, but why do people want others removed? Over a case of plagiarism, yeah, I can see people on the left wanting that stuff removed. Is that a bad thing? Like, I thought we were all in agreement. Plagiarism, bad.
platforms, to get them removed from virtually every way of reaching out to an audience, to get them removed from their jobs. That apparatus, that is the machine we were referring to. That was the weapon you should not unsheathe. And now...
Here's the thing, it's not really like something you can always 100% dedicatedly direct at people. You can sometimes, in cases like this, actually get people to take notice of whatever the hell you're complaining about. But largely, the left is just an amalgamation of people on the internet. And the online left is a community of sorts, a group of people that, I'm gonna be real, spend too much time on the internet. And that leads to people thinking sometimes shit's okay to do. I don't agree with it all the time, but I mean, if people are to do bad stuff, I think they should be called out. What's the big deal? What the counter argument so far has been, I'll get called out too? Cool, call me out. If you think I'm doing something malicious, or if you get some kind of impression like that, or whatever, make your voice heard. I listen.
Your opposition is looking at it and thinking, man, that's awfully effective, isn't it? What if we could use that? Wait, we can? Well, I'm going to take this as face value here. They've said this and they did this, and I'll applaud it as well. The urgency of this mandate was...
Oh, yeah, I mean, I'm guilty of being on the internet far too much, too. It's not like it's inherently a bad thing, but, I mean, it is important to have social connections offline, like off of the internet. And, yeah, this guy is just happy to say that, well, he's cool with psyops. Woo! What a great dunk.
Was clear in the ready abandonment of his earlier postures of free speech absolutism. Well, here's the thing. Free speech absolutism, if we take it to its logical conclusion, is obviously incorrect, since we need to have stuff like libel laws. But what we're saying with free speech absolutism in large is that you should be allowed to say anything you want to say, so long as it isn't illegal. And there should be very few laws against what it is legal to say. Agitation.
Largely, I do personally agree with this. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of, let's just call it hate speech, but I do think it gets into a very legally gray area to try and make that illegal. Personally, I don't think it should be legislatively enforced. I think it should just be socially enforced. Call them cringe and stop talking to them if they're going to deliberately engage with that type of, or if they're going to deliberately engage in a type of free speech you don't particularly like. You have the power to curate your friends, if you didn't know that.
For outright violence, stuff like that. Everything else should be largely fine. And again, free speech absolutism. That's the thing. These aren't the right wing's standards. You are not being cancelled by the right wing's standards.
I definitely agree that the right wing doesn't actually like free speech.
You are being cancelled by the left wing's standards. This is your apparatus. This is your rule set. This is your...
You have said a bad opinion. You have been given the punishment of cringe. Yes, exactly that.
Playground that is being used against you. You cannot look to your opposition and go, oh, hold on there, what about your principles, when they're using your bat to beat you over the head with? They are making a point. That is literally...
What? I need to rehear that.
This is your playground that is being used against you. You cannot look to your opposition and go, oh, hold on there, what about your principles, when they're using your bat to beat you over the head with? They are making a point.
I'm just going to go with the understanding that this dude doesn't actually have particular principles. He just likes it when people who seemingly morally grandstand get taken down a peg.
That is literally what this is. Now, there is absolutely the potential for right-wing cancel culture to go too far and become simply just another form of mainstream cancel culture. It is entirely possible. The right...
Oh, so it's totally possible for a right-wing cancellation to turn into full-on harassment? Fun fact, that happens on the internet broadly. It's not just what the left and the right do to each other or themselves.
Is no more immune to this than the left inherently. But right now, this is cancel culture of the left being wielded by the right. And you have no room whatsoever to complain about it.
I mean, I can still criticize that you guys don't actually seem to really care about the plagiarism part. The thing that people are calling bad, you have just been explaining that you don't like people. And you don't care why particular. It just happens to be plagiarism in this case. I just haven't seen a real case of why it was a good thing that she did that. But I guess this guy's overall argument is that you just shouldn't use any sort of cancel culture. You shouldn't hold people accountable for the bad stuff they're doing, which is a screaming red flag to me. I don't know about you guys, chat. In fact, this is Warhammer lore guy who was told by Games Workshop to get the fuck out for being racist. I have no idea about that. I did... Oh, in my Warhammer video, I did actually get recommended a YouTuber who had covered the different Warhammer controversies and actually, yeah, covered a Nazi, like an actual Nazi getting kicked out of a Games Workshop event. So I'm actually going to go through that sometime off stream. I actually really want to look into that.
Recursive war on campus wokeness. Suddenly, the Timnos replies that the university's head tendered and Stefanik's badgering were ticketed to meet with real-world consequences, just as the left partisans in the culture war had long said they should. Exactly yet again. You have championed a set of standards. You have argued for the creation of a rule set that...
For clarity, the rule set and standards that I hold everybody up to are don't be a cunt. Is that so bad? If you want me to break it down a bit more, I will say once again, abusive behavior, harassment, inciting stuff is not very good. You probably shouldn't do it. And if you are going to actively engage with that, I do think the people around you should point that out. I do think that should be done publicly. How horrible of me.
Will condemn people for their positions, or even for their refusal to take a position.
That's true. I do hate Nazis and the people who let Nazis do the things that Nazis do. Like the Holocaust. I'm pretty sure we all agree that one was bad, right?
A wonderful recent example. Oh, there's two. Hell, let's take Hogwarts Legacy, right? So...
Oh, for fuck's sakes. Yay! Back over to this discourse.
J.K. Rowling's position is that women means adult human female. Simple as. For that, she has become the Satan of the left, and Hogwarts...
It was a bit more than that, but yeah, sure.
Legacy became one of the greatest beacons. of right-wingism ever. Because with the release of Hogwarts Legacy, it shone an enormous light upon the most screechingly absurdist behaviour of the modern-day progressivist movement we have ever seen. It brought it to the fore in one of the largest modern-day franchises that a lot of younger people were into. And
yeah, I'm gonna actually have to say I agree with him on this point. It was such a dumb idea to try and boycott the fucking worldwide franchise of Harry Potter. It went trending on it was trending on Twitter for months before it came out. Tons of people were hearing about it. There was a handful of people that didn't actually engage with it. And then there was a lot of people who were like, oh, the libs are mad at this game, let's check it out. And then they dropped it no more than a month later. I mean, when it came out, it was like the most watched game on Twitch, if I'm remembering correctly. And then a month after, it was dead. Like, nobody was watching it after that. They just wanted to piss off the transes, if you will.
It illuminated the madness to them. Hogwarts Legacy has unironically done more for the conservative culture war than most of YouTube combined. Even if the one would not...
I mean, I am aware of Gamergate, so...
exist without the other, of course. Or even more recently, literally today, I think. So Mickey Mouse, Steamboat Willie became public property, right? And people...
Oh, fuck. Is he going to talk about the Nazi callouts of Steamboat Willie game? Of Infestation Origins? At least I covered it, so I know what he's talking about here.
People immediately started doing shit on it. One of them was a horror movie called, what was it? Something 88. I'll probably try to bring it up.
Infestation 88 was the game. I think it was Mouse was the movie. Or Mouse was another game. There is horror movies getting made, but he's talking about the game that was called Infestation 88 has since been rebranded to Infestation Origins after Twitter called them out for using Nazi dog whistling.
Screen here, where they wanted to have Mickey Mouse Infestation, that was it, and it was set in the year 1988.
You're welcome.
88, thus the name. However, the progressives looked at two letters, 8 and 8, and thought to themselves, Nazis. Oh yes, I'm sure that was the intent. And they screeched extraordinarily.
Yeah, so to anybody that doesn't know what a Nazi dog whistle is, it's a or a dog whistle in general is, it's a seemingly innocuous phrase that actually subtly pushes a political agenda. In this case, 88 is short for 1488, which is commonly posted in Nazi circles. 14 being the 14 words of fascism, and 88 being H8, or the 8 is the eighth letter of the alphabet is H, which together HH stands for Heil Hitler. It is convoluted specifically so that the left looks deranged calling it Nazi stuff, when that's a lot of the time what people deliberately do when they say 1488.
Ordinarily loudly, up until the point where the edgy boys making the Mickey Mouse horror thing, because like, oh, this is really something, man, we're sticking it to those corporate bastards by doing this. What? You're threatening to cancel us? Okay, we'll immediately submit to the modern day fascists to berate the fascists of 60 years ago. Stunning and brave.
I do think it's brave to stand up against Nazism. I agree 100% uncritically right there.
This is the left-wing partisan view that is now being used fully against the left. This is why right-wing cancel culture for...
Oh, that was just a little bit about a game called Infestation 88. I do have a video going over the callouts of it. Personally, I don't think it was very warranted. I don't think it should have gotten too much attention, but it went pretty big. Look for the scary looking Mickey thumbnail in my videos.
For the moment, at least, is good. Because this is, and I've argued this for years now, the only...
Wait. You just said cancel culture for the moment is good?
Why right-wing cancel culture, for the moment at least, is good. Because...
Okay, so you're going to open the video by saying how this isn't a tool you should be using at all, but right now it's a good tool for us to use. Neat. That's definitely not hypocritical on your end.
Because this is, and I've argued this for years now, the only...
I see, I was about to say Disney beat everyone to the horror Mickey punch them out. Wait, what? They did? Like, they did their own horror thing? As I was reading that, I thought... I thought you were going to reference, like, the old Nazi Disney cartoons. Disney beat everyone to the horror Mickey Nazi accusations.
The only way the progressives will ever learn their lesson, as they have demonstrated again and again, is if their faces are held to the fire for an extended period of time. So long as there was no consequences for their actions, so long as unveiling the arsenal and firing it at their foe did not come back at them, they mercilessly continued. When this was merely a...
Okay, so I will say this. I don't know much of anything about the Claudine Gay plagiarism shit. I do think it's pretty good to oust a president of a prestigious university if they did plagiarize. So I don't really see the problem, because like largely plagiarism isn't that high on the give a shit factor. It counts a lot more when it's people running schooling, like academia. That's where it counts way more. So, yeah. Hold bad people to account for for bad things they do. Or, not bad people. Hold people to account for the bad things they do. Why is that such a problem unless you don't want people holding you to account for the bad stuff you know you've done?
Conflict of one-sided executions, there was no brakes to the cancel culture train. You could be cancelled for the clothing you wore.
Or misphrasing on stream.
Never mind the shit you actually said. When they were unopposed, they committed the worst...
Wait. Cancelled for the clothing you wore. I wonder, is he mad that you're not allowed to wear Nazi armbands, like swastika armbands? I don't think it's illegal to wear them, but people will just call you a Nazi if you wear a swastika armband. I think that's a reasonable response if somebody wants to wear that.
Forms of authoritarian overreach you can imagine. Only by a...
How is it authoritarian when it's the mob and not one? Or not like a select group at the top controlling it all? Freedom of speech protects you from the law, not me energy. Yeah, that's kind of the vibe I go with. Like, I don't care what people want to say. I don't care what gamer language they want to use. But if they use it around me, I'm gonna call them on their shit. Mostly, unless I don't want to get in an argument, like with my boss.
Opposing them and hitting them repeatedly and violently over the head with the tools of their own making, will we have any point whatsoever of having them look at this weapon and go, wow, that does hurt. I don't want that to be used against me, because pure, unadulterated selfishness seems to be the only key, core, unifying feature of progressivism. And thus, right?
What?
Selfishness seems to be the
Because pure unadulterated selfishness seemed to be?
The only key, core, unifying feature of progressivism.
How did you demonstrate that selfishness is one of the core pieces of progressivism? Progressivism is about helping as many people as possibly can live dignified lives, right? I mean, that's why I subscribe to it.
And thus, right-wing cancel culture. Good. Until
No. Okay. Nice memes. That guy... I took a little psychic damage from that, not gonna lie. I don't know, maybe I'll cover more of his videos in the future. See if other stuff catches my eye. But yeah, largely I think it's okay to hold people to account for the stuff they do. If somebody is going, again, for the last time, if somebody is going to be abusive or engage in actively malicious behavior that harms others, that should be called out. I don't think anybody should be above that. I think Biden should be investigated just like Trump. Yay! Joe, you have heard of that dude before? Like, does he put out Warhammer lore videos? Oh yeah, the paradox of tolerance. I personally like to look at it as, yeah, exactly, a social contract where if you are not going to abide by the social contract, I don't have to abide by it for you. It's just still, I think that's a good way to look at it. Like, being a tolerant person doesn't mean you need to tolerate harmful behavior. Okay, I got 2 segments I want to do left, which are the Hazbin Hotel AMV and the Vtuber clones. Which do I want to do first? You were talking about Epic Mickey, vaguely remembering Mickey Mouse and the Runaway Brain. Huh. I don't think I've actually heard of those. Oh, and I'm currently in between segments, so it's free topic, I guess. Let's see. I think I only put it out like a week or 2 ago. Yeah, on January 10th, I put out a Steamboat Willie game got called out on Twitter. I didn't really want to play into the Nazi stuff for the title and thumbnail. It was 2 games they made when Disney rebought the rights to Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. I don't even know Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. Oh wait, Epic Mickey. Oh yeah, that draw or that art game. Where you shake the remote and it makes paint splotches. Yeah, I remember that. God, that came out in 2010? No wonder I forgot about it. Okay, so do we want to talk about VTuber cringe or AMV cringe? Does paint or paint thinner? Do you have to use more effects if you get the good or bad end? Oh, interesting. I don't think I actually played that game, but it did seem pretty poggers. You don't get why the AMV thing blew up too much? Or blew up so much? Actually, I want to see how big his channel is. 5.46 million subscribers. So it was relating to a very big YouTuber. Or a pretty big YouTuber. The VTuber cringe, you want to check that one out? The clones. Okay, I think we can start with that. Holy shit, there's a lot of discourse sometimes about inspiration versus theft. And there's one in particular VTuber I hear that a decent number of smaller VTubers get compared to. You're just a copy of this person. Why are you just like them? And I was actually trying to find her tweet about this situation, but I haven't been able to, partially because I'm lazy and partially because it was like from a few months ago. But I'm talking about Shy Lily, one of the biggest indie VTubers out there. People know her, people love her. She's very, very funny. I like checking her out when I can. But there's been more than a handful of people that have been called out, if you will, with people saying, yeah, the Orcat lady. With people saying, oh, you're just a Shy Lily clone. And sometimes I can sort of see the resemblance with who people are calling out, and then other times I don't. Like, here's one.
Thoughts on feet worship? Receiving. I've never actually received foot worship. I don't kink shame. Like, I don't even know what foot worship is. Like, do you just like rub it on your face and like lick it? Like, I don't.
She is a shrimp. She actually has a shrimp
tail. Do you
tail.
just say nice things to it and be like, you're such a good foot. I love you, foot.
So obviously you can definitely see who's this? This is Ebiko VTuber. She is a shrimp.
Oh, shrimp eyes. Did you hear about Ebiko, the shrimp cat? When it comes to interspecies bonding between humans and VTubers, Ebiko takes the crown. Nestled.
Oh my god, she's going into the Vaporeon copy pasta. I never listened to that before. That's wonderful. But yeah, she is being called a Shy Lily clone. And so is Mia.
Few
Whoa.
That one always makes me cringe. Yes?
Hello, as a new person I just wanted to say that I love this community. We, the community, love you and your content. Every stream with you is the greatest thing that is happening. Thank you for everything.
I was hoping this would be more of her talking.
Brian less than 3.
Brian?
About like that one always.
But yeah, Mia here is also being called a Shy Lily clone, as well as Small Lola has been called out twice about this shit. First time with this model, where sure, I can see some inspiration, but I can also see, I wish I had like a bigger, you know what, I'm gonna pull one up, and I don't want to risk showing off her new model. Here. This is her 1.0, I think. I think it was her 1.0. I can see some kind of similarities to Shy Lily, sure. But I wouldn't call this directly copying, stealing. And then there is also, like, she was called out for being a Shy Lily clone on Twitter when this model was revealed. And then before her next model, which I'm only going to be showing you the banner and profile picture, was also called out like a week or two ago for being a Shy Lily clone. I can sort of see with just seeing this face, but the person calling them out got into a little more detail and showed more of the model off. I have seen that model, and I personally don't think it really looks like Shy Lily. And I'm not going to be showing you guys that model because I want you to go look into her if you actually care about checking out her model. Another person, this person I actually do somewhat know, Saki Yula, who is a Megalodon VTuber. I can see a bit of Shy Lily inspiration, but she is 100% her own thing, in my opinion. I love the scarring, for example. And plus, like, who does teeth like that? I hate you, Twitter. Like, not many. This is actually pretty different for the teeth. But yeah, with Saki, she went a bit more in her own direction. So Ibiko had put out the shrimpy lady. She put out, are they being called Shy Lily clones because fish? Yeah, more or less. They're aquatic VTubers and there can only be one. But apparently Shy Lily is the one. And not any of the other aquatic VTubers, you know, like Gargura. In the end, all aquatic VTubers just want to be Gargura. You cannot deny this. But Ibiko put out a thread. I acknowledge that as a relatively small VTuber, comparisons to those who are larger is inevitable and it's persistent. However, it's important to recognize that I am an individual with my own unique identity. For those who have taken the time to engage with my content, the distinction becomes apparent. And she posted a screenshot of a comment on what looks like one of her YouTube videos. Bro, what are you, Shy Lily and Numi child? Her response, absolutely. I am not my own person with my own personality, voice, and content. I am merely a copy, a lesser copy, incapable of my own thoughts or originality. And then Mia had quote tweeted Ibiko, which is how I found out about Mia. I feel Ibiko so much with this one. I simply took 10 minutes to screenshot comments on TikTok and Insta, even though I usually try to delete them. But there is no way to get rid of them all, or to get rid of all of them. If you share an accent with a bigger creator, you're actually double fucked. And not even the creators telling people to stop will ever stop this behavior. I really wish I had that specific tweet, but the first time that Small Lola was getting called out for being a Shy Lily clone, Shy Lily actually chimed in at one point to say, people, stop comparing me to smaller VTubers. Let them do their own thing. Wait, people actually did call Shy Lily a Garkura clone? That's really funny. No shame in deleting, though. There is no such thing as free speech on your channel. True. You keep it clean and comfy for you. Don't feel ashamed of doing for you. Don't be ashamed of doing so. Shy Lily's little sis, same like old model and fucking German accent. I mean, this was her. I mean, I guess I could see a sort of resemblance of Shy Lily's emo little sister, but that's not really the type of thing I would say on a comment under her stuff. I would be engaging with what she put out. Isn't she a Shy Lily reskin? I thought Shy Lily remodel, not gonna lie. You almost sound like Shy Lily. This reminds me on Shy Lily, lol, even the voice German accent. Womp womp. Your model and voice sounds like another VTuber. Yeah, and people are just not going to stop. Now, in regards to Small Lola's recent call out, it didn't really pan over. I'm not going to go through this entire thread because, well, largely it has been settled between Emi Sakura here and Small Lola. But what I wanted to showcase with this thread was this. I can't be the only one who sees glaring similarities between Small Lola's new model and Shy Lily. I get taking inspiration from other VTubers, but this just seems like straight up copying. And thankfully, Rijome has blocked out Lola's undebuted model in this comparison, where they had the first one was just the model, and then this one had like 5 or 6 parts circled. So like they're pushing to really look for the similarities, and they're just not really looking for the differences. And if you want to know about the differences with Small Lola's new outfit, you're going to have to go digging or just catch her debut. I will be linking all these Shy Lily clones. I'm going to be linking their platforms in the description of the video, so check them out. But yeah, it's something that's not going to stop. It's unfortunate. I would not be, actually, I myself have been compared to another VTuber. I have been compared to Zentrea. I've gone from Dragon to Cybergirl, when in reality that's not actually what I did. I went from Succubus to Succubus who blends in with humans and like cyberware. Nice, you want to check out that Scenemo one? I can drop that link for you. You need the Megalodon's channel? They are Saki Yula. I like them. Where's my bookmarks? Why are they hiding bookmarks? Twitter, don't be a cunt. Okay, now I gotta pull it up again. Fuck. Because I just closed them. Wait, I have Control-Shift-T. Whoopsie. Here is copy link. Here is this Scenemo. Damn it! Don't give me one of those links. Those are disgusting links. Give me their card. Here's the Scenemo's card. Mia, VTuber. And then you wanted Saki's? Oh, it looks like Saki has a link tree. Yeah, like I do kind of see some of the similarities with some of the people being compared, but I also largely don't think it's that big of a deal personally. Especially comparing it to somebody like Shy Lily. Like, you're ripping off Shy Lily when Shy Lily has been on record multiple times of being like, I don't care, get your bag. Literally. Part of why I really like Shy Lily is, unironically, the authenticity she exudes, I guess. It's kind of hard to describe, and it feels like kind of an oxymoron when talking about a VTuber, but the way she conducts herself on stream, the stuff she talks about sometimes, obviously I haven't watched every last minute. Excuse me. I haven't watched every last minute of Shy Lily's content, but I have watched more than a handful of things, and I kind of feel like she's actually sharing her personal opinions with things. Like, she's sharing her authentic thoughts, which is part of a big appeal to me for why I tend to prefer indie VTubers to Corpo. I am getting off on a bit of a tangent here. But yeah, let people do what they want to do. Let them have fun. It doesn't really matter. It's not a big deal, but it's the internet. Looking similar to bigger follower character is probably not a good idea. I mean, I wasn't going out of my way trying to copy Zentrea when I went with bodysuit VTuber, but like, I get why people would say, "Oh, you're just like Zentrea," when in reality, I think I'm pretty different. I'm in a bodysuit. I'm in a cyberware. That's it. That's really it. Also, Zentrea does way more collabs than I do. But yeah, I think that about wraps up this segment. Here's our nothing alike. Like, I'm talking about her red bodysuit. Don't send me pictures of Zendaya. Oh, I spelt it wrong. Oh no, that's a Koikatsu model showcase. Really? Because it's like cyberwear bodysuit with the jacket over top. I mean, I just personally like that aesthetic. I'm blue, she's red, mostly. So like, I sort of see the similarity of the person who had made that comparison, but largely I do feel unique with what I have, especially when I do go through with my full rebrand, because I am currently in my rebrand arc. Not similar at all. I feel like you guys are gassing me up just because I'm live. But no, unironically, I do see some kind of inspiration. I don't think it was like a Oh, really? I don't think it was a case of like deliberately trying to replicate her style. There could be a bit of subconscious appropriation, if you will, but largely, yeah, I don't think we're super duper the same. I think we're fairly different, but I still can understand where people are coming from when they make those comparisons. But again, it's the internet. chest size is almost similar. Nice. Nice. But in the end, it's the internet. They're going to make mountains out of molehills, as they do. I see, it makes you think more like modern techwear mixed with Ghost in the Shell. Nice. Yeah, I didn't design the suit. I was just browsing Booth and was like, hey, that's a cool look. I'm gonna throw money at the artists and then use it. Hey Alexa, how you doing? But yeah, I'm gonna be going with a different kind of look. I'm gonna be going, or I was kind of thinking cyberpunk Gundam pilot when I was piecing together this outfit overall. Dying in a vat of garbage. That sucks. I hate it when I do that. That's typically a Thursday. Okay, so are we ready to talk about Hazbin Hotel? Last segment before stream ends, and then I go probably hang out and voice chat in my server. I mean, Alexa, if you want to come on and interview, that'd be cool too. Okay. You're still in jail. Do I need to bust you out in Minecraft? Wait, no, the FBI is onto Minecraft. Do I need to bust you out in Roblox? Shit, what was my server link? Wait, do we not have each other on Discord yet? We've only been DMing through, Twitter, haven't we? You need to write out your sentence. Remember, don't post feet. I mean, I did post feet, technically, but it wasn't really the focus of the picture, so. But I did used to post not safe for work directly to my main, and then Twitter's like, yeah, we're going to flag you for sensitive content. And I'm like, that's fair. Are people actually upset about the AMV, or are everyone making videos about it because it's blowing up? Largely, I think people are just making videos about it because it's topical. It's about a very large creator, and it's hilariously cringe. But like that's the ultimate, or that's like the biggest thing that I'm seeing about this. Oh, I didn't end that last segment. Yeah, it's mostly people memeing on it for being cringe. And, well, I would want to show you the full-on video. Because I've in my research, and by research, I mean I got lucky and it popped on my For You page on Twitter. Somebody had tweeted out that since the original video is so hard to find, that they put it on their YouTube. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if some people took it seriously. My deal is that Charlie isn't dropped 50k hot. Fair. Okay, let's get into it. Talking about Verbalace and his $50,000 AMV. Now, I don't have the sources myself for confirming that it was $50,000, but I definitely recommend checking out a channel called Saberspark. I had watched through this video, and I've actually gone through it a couple of times, where he actually goes into detail with this, and one of the most important parts, in my opinion, was towards the end, where he had emails from art or animator friends of his saying, hey, yeah, I got proposition to work on this, and the guy had told me that he spent upwards of $50,000. So what was it? Thankfully, to Gripsy Goblinson, they posted a thread, or they posted it to their YouTube. Fuck! Right, it's age restricted because the end of the video. Don't, yeah, again. You probably shouldn't be harassing people or bullying. We're just laughing about the cringe. Oh, Sparks explains where the 50k rumors, 50k spent rumor comes from. Yeah, like there were Discord logs that leaked in the stuff. But, okay, let's, as far as I'm aware, the music Hideaway by, Synapsin featuring Holly, I don't know if that's, copyright or not, so I'm just going to have it muted. I'll give you a little bit of... This song is a banger, so I'll give you like 7 seconds. Wait, when it gets to like a better part. But yeah, this... You can see that there was a lot of animation and effort that was actually put into this. It's not the highest of quality production line type thing, but it's higher than your average YouTube animation. There's been like specific scenes in this to get animated. This time I'm hurting for you, but you feel like home around. Here's it. So high. This right here, that clip is probably what got memed on the most of this, but largely it's a 3-minute video. 50,000 has to be a joke or something. Okay, so
here we are. Yeah.
Hey,
this entire situation
pause, please.
is...
Thank you. Okay, just to prove where I'm getting my source.
Is just rendering my video, and I just got an update. I have a friend who is an animator. I'm gonna keep them anonymous. Who actually hit me up, being like, "Hey, I see you're working on this. Here's some information." I was contacted by him to be the animator to...
Here's the email between the Verbalace, the dude who commissioned this. The first one, as far as I'm aware, where it's saying his budget is $10,000 to $20,000
to do this project back in the day. And here's some emails and some, I guess, receipts to show what...
And as you can see, it's increasing just a little bit.
He was getting at. So confirmed, he had.
And here's the almost $50,000. So Saberspark goes into quite a bit, and I definitely think you guys should be checking out that video because he's covering it very well. He's pretty in depth. But something that caught my eye was I think I just want to revoice the biggest one of the biggest criticisms of that video, which is dude spent 50,000. That's a ripoff with that quality. How is, like, are you saying it should be like this animation should cost more than 50,000? Like, it's not Disney or HBO level quality, but it is certainly higher than your average fan animation. Oh god, we're getting real close to the reason why this video got age restricted. So I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna hold off because the quality sucks. I've seen worse animations, but yeah, I don't. It could be better. It could be a lot worse. But something that did catch my eye, say you've never animated without saying you've never animated. Animation hard. I have actually taken courses in animation. I went to the Art Institute of Vancouver when that was still a thing. 10K for the animation and 40K for the mental health of the animators. That seems reasonable. But yeah, I did personally learn a little bit about the fundamentals of animation in my time in college. So I totally have authority to speak on what I'm talking about. But what I have even more authority to speak on is in the wake of everybody memeing on this cringe. Cause like, oh yeah, I was going to say, dude, the biggest criticism from the Saberspark video was that dude allegedly spent $50,000 on this 3-minute animation and had also put out videos after commissioning this animation that his channel is going down in views and that he's not as profitable as he used to be. Which, I mean, I get that. There's ebbs and flows with content, and I believe the dude looks like a solo animator's work. It very well could be solo animators, or it could be a lot of people working, or it could be a handful of people working to replicate the Hazbin Hotel style. Which I think this is, I haven't watched Hazbin Hotel. I haven't watched Hell of a Boss. I do think this is coming fairly close to the clips I've seen of Hazbin Hotel, but it's not quite the professional level. But yeah, in the wake of everybody memeing and laughing on this cringe, there was also the expected Twitter cancellation callouts of problematic behavior. And as we're going to cover it, because that's what I do a lot. At least it's not AI generated, I guess. True. It's really close to the style. It's just missing some of the polish. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. But somebody had posted a collage of problematic Discord messages. So we don't know. So, like, grain of salt, Discord messages are easy to fake. OMG. Wait, the Nazi meme? Which Nazi meme? Okay. Posting go woke, go broke meme. Good times, good times. What's he got here? Went to Disneyland. It was so cool to be there. I was showing Elsa and all the other characters my voice impressions. There was no preaching about gender and gay stuff. Nothing. It was literally a family-friendly place. Ooh, that's not a very good look. Because, like, I don't think there's any real reason that you shouldn't tell kids about gay people. Because gay people exist. Even if the lines weren't long, they ruined the magical kingdom. Oh, he's mad. Wait, is it not the Jew merchant meme? Which? The Go Woke, Go Broke? Is it? No, that's the Monopoly dude. Yeah, apparently, yeah. It's one of those cases of pulling up problematic previous tweets without actually showing the date of when things were posted. It's like they're all saying today. So like I do think it's important to this is cool where he's promoting Andrew Tate, known sex trafficker. But yeah, I do believe that people can just grow and change. I do have a bit of an issue with like call-outs over very old stuff, and the way all this is shown is like it's all of today, it's all recent stuff, and I don't really know. So I definitely do get the impression that the dude is like reactionary leaning, conservative type mindset. So I don't really know. At the very least, he could have posted this long time ago. The way it's presented is trying to make people think that it was posted the day the tweet was posted, like all this stuff. So without like diving directly into Verbalaze's Discord server and like scouring for all that shit, I don't think you can come to a definitive conclusion with this. He definitely has said, or it definitely looks like he has said some pretty reactionary, non-progressive things that can be quite yikesy, like the Tate posting. It's sad to find out that people are taters, especially when they make really funny videos on YouTube, like Thanos beatboxing against Patrick Star from SpongeBob. So yeah, take that how you will. I don't necessarily think I haven't been concretely proved that, or I guess convinced thoroughly that he is problematic and call him out for problematic behavior. So far, I'm gonna get back to that in a sec. So far, yeah, it's just he's had some yikesy takes. Who knows? There's a possibility that all these people memeing on him for admittedly something that's pretty fucking funny, to spend $50,000 on a self-insert AMV of a show you like. If you got the money to throw around to do it, that's not too bad. But given the context of some of the later things, age restricting this video, yeah. So there's a reason it wasn't posted to YouTube. And what's more is that it wasn't actual hentai about it. It was all alluding to it. The video ends with them kissing and about to start. So maybe they did do more than that. I don't know. I don't know. I think the biggest takeaway with I think the biggest takeaway from all this is shit's cringe, yo. I want to play just a little bit. I just want to do that iconic scene, cause like it gets memed to hell. And like the meme is she's running towards you, and then when it cuts to Verbalaze, they will cut to like something else, and it's actually pretty funny. Largely, I do think if he plays his cards right with pushing out videos again, he's getting a lot of eyes on him right now for people laughing at this cringe. But that also means more people checking out his content. It's more people reminded, oh yeah, this guy makes videos I really like. So it's possible he has been complaining about a downswing with his channel. He could see an upswing. He could potentially see a resurgence from people checking it out. That's kind of how my cancellation went. For those that don't know, I had a stream where I didn't phrase myself properly, and I opened the segment saying this goes beyond the pale of typical drama, and then I started going through a call-out thread of a account that's a lot smaller than them, and the call-out, or the person making the call-out, had referenced the fact that they had been doxxed and swatted. And while I think that swatting and doxing is not drama, it's a fucking crime, this person clipped me out of context and said, how dare you refer to my swatting and doxing as drama? And then that led to a handful of people checking out that stream VOD. And then a couple days after I got canceled on Twitter for that stream VOD was pushed to 1,000 new people because YouTube's algorithm was like, hey, let's put this on people's front page. That was so funny to me. Like, it turned out well. Cancellation gets eyes on you. But I don't try to go out of my way to... Okay, I do try to... excuse me. I do try to go out of my way to piss off, like, reactionaries and right-winger types, but I don't try to go out of my way to piss off people I've been making friends with. Oh boy. YouTube, I got you. Yeah, like, that cancellation happened, and the video got... or the stream was 9 likes to 10 dislikes after I had gotten canceled, and like that VOD was directly linked to Twitter. And then after that, when it got pushed out to a bunch of people's browsing and YouTube home and stuff, it ended up getting like 84 likes to 10 dislikes. So I just found that really super funny. During that stream, I jokingly said most watched stream ever, and then a few days later that became true. But yeah, I think right, to wrap up the segment, it's funny to laugh at people's cringe. I don't think this should be I don't think he should really be harassed over this, like incessantly, constantly, hey, cringe AMV kind of thing. I do think it would make a pretty funny joke down the line of referencing, hey, remember when I spent 50,000 on that AMV? Assuming he gets his channel back in order. Now, I don't know YouTube AdSense. I do know that the dude does have 5 million subscribers, and more than likely a lot of people are going to be remembering, oh yeah, that guy exists, I like his stuff. So who knows? Oh, cringe, that was only a month ago. Help save cartoon beatbox battles. I believe this was the video that Saberspark had referenced in his video. But yeah, if you want the full context on the Hazbin AMV, I do think the best source is to go to Saberspark's video. He was pretty thorough with it. Yeah, like I can sort of see the appeal, but I'm not too terribly interested myself in cartoons beatboxing at each other. Uh, bu- bu- yeah, that's yeah. I really get like epic rap battle vibes off of that guy. Not like he's plagiarizing epic rap battle or anything. I could see people being able to make an argument that his work is derivative, but I do think he does his own thing pretty well. Like the epic rap battle tries to focus more on real people rapping against each other, and what's it? And Verbalaze does like fantasy characters, cartoon characters. So like different audiences, you can sort of make an argument that the fundamentals would be the same, but I don't know. But yeah, I love ERB. They're really good. Really surprised me that they had actually had Weird Al Yankovic on one of their videos. Yeah, Thanos versus Oppenheimer. Oh god, why is Cinder trending? Oh, okay. That Wait, you didn't know that, Joe? Cinder, the VTuber wolf or the VTuber hellhound. Apparently she's trending. Yeah. Um for those that don't know, she's not streaming tonight. That's why she's trending from what I can see. Cinder, she put out a cover of a song that she put out a metal cover of what's it? CPR. That song about sucking dick. And like her song is a banger. What else was I going to say? Right. ERB. What was his name? What was his name? Wasn't Edison Newton? Look at that shit. Do you not recognize the face of Weird Al Yankovic? Sir Isaac Newton versus Bill Nye. One of my favorite videos. Holy shit, it's at 76 million views. These guys are massive. Just under 15 million. Wait, I'm not subscribed. Fixed that. That's why I haven't heard of them recently. Okay, I want to check out that Henry Ford versus Karl Marx. That's probably a good one. But yeah, they've gotten I know they've gotten other bigger names on their thing. I just can't remember who off the top of my head. But those guys are great. Well, yeah, that's like all of my segments. There's definitely more. There's always more to talk about. There's always more to talk about, but I think I might be wrapping it up here. I'm not sure where else I would really go with right now. I'm glad you stopped by too. I always really appreciate seeing new faces pop in a chat, especially when they're friendly. Typically, I do actually stream longer than this. I mean, it does largely depend on what I am covering. Because, I mean, I just last week, I want to say, or the week before, I did a 3.5 hour coverage of a VTuber getting called out for bigoted recordings. Though largely I have been going with shorter segments. We're seeing how it plays out. Anyways, yeah, I'm going to be wrapping up. I'm probably going to be hopping into my Discord server voice chat and hanging out for a bit, because that's just what I like to do. Getting caught up on some Discord messages. Oh my, a lot of pings. Okay, yeah, I'm booping off for now. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. I'd appreciate if you leave a like on the stream, but I'm not gonna hold you to that. I will catch you next stream. Don't know when that'll be. Hopefully not a week from now. I just gotta push myself into actually doing more streams. I might do some gaming streams. Part of me wanted to do a Pokemon Infinite Fusion stream, but then Pokemon Infinite Fusion wasn't quite working for me. And then I started rambling, and that's how my streams go. Anyways, again, thanks for checking, or thanks for booping in, stopping by, lurking, or participating in chat. I appreciate all the support from everybody. Have a good rest of your night. Have a good time zone. And remember, if you can't be the sharpest tool in the shed, you can always be the hoe.